Hey there, my name is Natalie Champlin. I am co-founder of AI23, and I am here to give you the 9 different steps you need to take to train ChatGPT to sound like you and to actually integrate it into your marketing processes so that you can either get more from the team that you already have, or perhaps you cannot need to hire somebody and hire ChatGPT to do the job instead. So the process of building an AI persona is about assigning a job to your ChatGPT. ChatGPT, think about it like an employee. So every new chat that you start with someone with ChatGPT, you are going to assign it a specific role. So the 9 steps from a high level of how to train ChatGPT to sound like you is number 1, define the role that the chat is going to have. 2, communicate the core values of your company. 3, define your target audience. 4, define your competitors. 5, tell it your products and services. 6, teach it personal stories and your proprietary data. Number 7, you're going to test and educate it. 8, you're going to iterate and refine. Number 9, you are going to implement and monitor. Let's dive into the first thing that you need to do in order to train your AI persona to sound just like you. So number 1 is you need to give it a role. You've got to tell it a specific role that it's going to play for you so that it understands who it's going to be, whether that is a customer service agent, perhaps that is an art image generator, or a customer service agent. You're going to give it a personality and tell it how you want it to interact with you. And then you're going to be specific about how it is specializing, whether that be as a copywriter expert in persuasive language for webinars that are high converting, or if it is specializing in remote patient care for pharmacists and speaking specifically to doctors and pharmacists. You can get really niche about the way you assign it a role. The second thing that you need to do in the AI persona builder process is to communicate your core values to this chat. The reason is because the fundamental beliefs and principles that you operate from are going to help it understand how you communicate with customers and how you want to be perceived. The things that we value are like a filter that give the chat the ability to understand how to represent you when it's speaking. The third thing that you need to do in the AI persona builder process is you need to define the target audience. The reason why this is so important is because when the chat can understand the audience it's speaking to, their needs, their preferences, their pain points, it's going to do a much better job of creating precision copy and precision results that are actually going to be valued by your customer. This also allows you to align the chat with your brand voice so that your communication style aligns with the way that your target audience prefers to be addressed. The fourth way in the AI persona builder process is to define your competitors. This is one of the most undervalued and underlooked assets that you can build up inside of your business, is knowing your competition very, very well. And the reason why it's important to understand your competition is because knowing what they are better at than you and they can beat you at, and what you are better at than them, allows you to level the playing field and truly enhance the competitive advantage that you have over them, and perhaps downplay some of the things that they might communicate as what's valuable. When you're clear about the value that you offer, juxtaposed against your competition, it helps people understand why they should choose you. The fifth step in the AI persona builder process is to define your products and services. This is important because it gives the chat an understanding of what it is that you offer so that when it's engaging with customers or engaging with you, it knows how to talk about the things that you are selling so that you can sell more of it. It also allows you to align your brand voice with those products and services so it knows how to communicate about those things in a way that's persuasive. The sixth step in the AI persona builder process is to teach it your personal stories and your proprietary data. This is super important. One of the ways that you can do this is by giving it 3 long-form articles that you have written that reflect your voice and 2 short short form posts that also reflect your voice. You want to give it a list of the stories that you commonly tell people or reference in your marketing or copywriting, because then what it can do is actually pull from accurate stories that truly are yours. Otherwise, what ends up happening is ChatGPT is more than happy to make up false data. So you've got to be careful about this. Make sure it's trained on real stories that it can tell so that your content is authentic. You also want to train it on your proprietary data. Data is something that is becoming even more relevant in the conversation of marketing and positioning yourself to your customers. Having proprietary data increases the value that you can offer to people, and it increases the value of your ChatGPT chats because it allows it to understand who you are, and it gives it a competitive edge that nobody else can touch because of that proprietary data set. The seventh step in the AI persona builder process is to test and educate your chat and see how it's doing. So you want to ask it, how can you help me? It'll give you a list, and then you pick something from that list and say, go ahead and do this. Based off of how it performs, you need to give it feedback and you need to educate it and say, yes, this is what I want. No, this is not what I want. Or here is what I want instead. By evaluating its performance and giving it feedback, you're going to do a better job of honing it in on the outcomes that you are looking for from that chat. The eighth step in the AI persona builder process is to iterate and refine. You continuously want to be training and testing your AI to ensure that it communicates in your brand voice and tone. You want to monitor how things are doing and always be taking a look on a consistent basis at the output it's creating to make sure that it's doing a good job. Now, if it is doing a good job, one of the things you can do is to prompt it and say, what is it about this post that you have done so that we can replicate this in future posts? By asking it to analyze what it's producing gives you the words to articulate back to it of what it needs to do more of. The last and final step in the AI persona builder process is to implement and monitor. All of us have to use AI personas. These are the roles that we assign to the AI. We also have to have prompts. The prompts are the instructions that we give. But we also need processes. Processes are the rubber meets the road execution of how we're actually taking this AI chat and putting it into our systems so that we can get better results, enhance the results that we get, or add in a new player, a new digital team member. So we need to implement and deploy the AI, put it into your standard operating procedures, put it into the workflows that you have. You can automate some of these things, and then always remember to continuously monitor this so that you can make improvements. I hope these 9 steps were helpful for you. I hope these 9 steps were helpful for you to learn how you can implement an AI persona into your own business, particularly in your marketing systems, so that you can either get better results from the team you already have, or perhaps save yourself some money and not necessarily hire someone and hire ChatGPT to do it instead.